Last time on The Picky Gamer. We won the wing ceremony, but lost Zelda. Let's go save her.
This second dream sequence reiterates upon the previous one with a mysterious figure with a warped voice telling Link of his great destiny, but with one new factor: Zelda. The first time when Link was being called towards his destiny, he was confused and indecisive. Now, even though a lot is still a mystery to him, he is actively petrified, yelling out and desperately trying to pull Zelda away from the evil monster. The next scene is less dramatic than the dream sequence, but more contemplative, with Link and Gaipora communicating to try and find out what to do next. Both characters are deeply worried about Zelda, but Gaipora seems troubled because he knows something that Link doesn't. Once he leaves, we're left with no objective. But then, the same mysterious voice sounds out from behind the door. We have no idea where it might lead us, but we've got to do something, so let's follow it.
Sure enough, the same mysterious figure is floating on the stairs. It says nothing, but it's apparent that it wants you to follow it somewhere. A slight detour is taken around the statue of the goddess, with some light platforming, easy enemies, and... Okay, that just needs to die. Well, bye. Seriously, though, that's a pretty vulnerable place to scare someone. You're so focused on all the mystery and entranced by the calm music that it's easy to get caught off guard. Moving on, the figure reveals a secret door, which behind it lies a 10-minute cutscene. The good news is that this is the last giant cutscene we'll be seeing for a while, and hey, it's a pretty good one. The mysterious figure, now known as Fi, I'm saying Fi, deal with it, tells Link to take his sword and start his great destiny. But Skyward Sword Link isn't your ordinary Link. You know why? This Link has an actual personality. He needs more persuasion to take this than a mere, it's dangerous to go alone. Luckily, Fi has that persuasion. Take the sword to save Zelda. As Fi says, further persuasive measures will not be required. To take the sword, you've got to contort your wrist, press A, raise your contorted wrist, and then point the Wiimote up at the exact angle the game wants, which probably isn't exactly up, and you'll get it for a little bit, but not long enough to charge. Yeah, it's not Wiimotion Plus's best display, but I think we'll be fine as long as they don't integrate this as an actual game mechanic. Okay, more cutscenes. Now that Link has resolved to do whatever it takes to save Zelda, find Gaipora, give him the details. The details are a bunch of ancient prophecies, foretelling of a hero, blah blah blah. Nothing we haven't heard 1,000 times before. The game was doing well being different up to this point, but after all it is a Zelda game, so the whole ancient hero speech was inevitable. Now it's time to gear up and say goodbye to all the citizens of Skyloft, receiving gifts to help us on our adventure along the way. The first one to say goodbye with a gift is Gaipora himself. He's already said most of what he wanted to say before at the statue of the goddess, but he gives Link his iconic uniform. However, because this is the first Link in the timeline, unless you want to count the manga and the Hyrule Historia, I don't know about that, there was no hero that passed the uniform down throughout the ages. Instead, it's just the normal knight uniform. I've liked Link's uniform in most Zelda games, but because of the watercolor art style, I've gotta say, Skyward Sword Link's uniform is probably my favorite. It's also worth noting that the usual Knight Academy theme has been replaced by the urgent music we've heard a few times before. This maintains the tense atmosphere of preparing to set off on an adventure to unknown lands. The next person to say goodbye to is Fledge. He gives us the adventure pouch, which can only hold 4 items at first. This allows you to customize your pouch to hold what you want to hold. If you want to hold a shield and bottles, you can do that. If you want to hold more arrows and bombs, you can do that. You can choose to hold whatever fits your playstyle, whether that be more defense, resources, or more rupees. It's an ingenious system that seems to be greatly expanded upon in the upcoming Breath of the Wild with limited inventory, and I'm very excited to see how different players will customize it when the game comes out. For now, we can only buy a couple of things for a pouch, but as the game progresses, we'll have more options for how we want to customize it. The first item we'll get for our new pouch is the wooden shield, given to us as a parting gift from Instructor Horwell. The shield is unfortunately controlled by shaking the nunchuck. Maybe it's just me, but shaking the nunchuck always feels awkward, although that's more of a problem with the Wii itself than a problem with the game. A problem I do have with the game is the timing of shield bashes. Instead of shaking the nunchuck at the exact moment an enemy strikes, you have to shake a bit before. Once you get the timing down, it's fine, but it takes some getting used to. Now, let's walk over to the... Oh, hey Vi, how are you doing? Unlike previous companions in Zelda games, Vi will occasionally stop your progress to give us information. This time she tells us how to change the UI, how to get to the surface, and reminds us to go to the bazaar before departing. This is a pretty good idea of how Vi's advice will be. Some advice will be helpful, some advice will be obvious, and some advice will be repeated. The bazaar's design is great. Each area has its own unique flair, but all parts feel like an old-timey bazaar. The music is also great, and it changes to match the personality of whoever is working in each section. The least significant part of the bazaar is the cafeteria. You can't buy anything, and all the NPCs there are pretty generic. Not much better is the fortune teller. While his theme is pretty cool, his huge eyes, weird hair, and distorted body kind of freak me out. His fortunes are also absolute garbage. He essentially charges you to tell you what you might want to buy based on your next destination, but countless characters have already told you what you need to buy, and if you needed a clue as to what to do, the Sheikah Stone is free and a lot more straightforward. There's also a walkthrough. That's helpful too. The scrap shop might have my favorite variation on the bazaar theme, as well as one of my favorite shop owners. He can fix your shield, but what's really cool is that he can upgrade almost all of your items. We've had item upgrades before in Zelda, such as in A Link to the Past, but in my opinion, the item upgrade system in Skyward Sword is tied with A Link Between Worlds as being the best. Unfortunately, we can't do much with it right now, but there's a lot to do here later. The next place is the item check. The owner starts out very bored and unenthusiastic, but this will change as the game moves on. Because the adventure pouch is limited, the item check was made to simply store all items not put in the pouch. You can also sell certain items if you need some more rupees. Yet again, there's no use for this right now because we have so few items, but it will become necessary later on. The next place is a shop. You buy stuff there. Go figure. The shop owner is a little too eager to sell us something with his ridiculous smile and unnecessarily poetic language. The music speeds up like crazy to match his personality, and it is pretty funny to see him get all depressed after Link leaves the shop. Say it with me. There's nothing we can do here for now. Now for the one useful shop where you actually can buy something. The potion shop. The potion lady has a nice, simple design, and she's got a bit of a motherly personality. The music is more relaxed and quieter, which I feel fits her personality. There are 5 potions. Green potion increases your stamina gauge for 3 minutes. Red potion refills 8 hearts. Blue potion lets you breathe underwater longer for 3 minutes. Purple potion fixes shields and refills 4 hearts. And white potion reduces damage taken for 3 minutes. The only potions that you can buy right now are red, purple, and white. Red potion is pretty much the same as it's always been. I personally prefer to save my rupees and just use fairies to refill my hearts, but red potion is viable too. I personally find purple potion the most useful as it's a more cost-effective method to fixing shields than going to the scrap shop. I find that the remaining 3 potions make the game too easy if used, but it's good that they're there for less experienced players. The potion lady's husband has a side business where he makes the potions more powerful if you give him the materials needed and some rupees. Infusing red and purple potion have their uses, but infusing any other potion just breaks the game in my opinion. Overall, the bazaar is filled with great music, interesting characters, and genuinely great shops. Almost everything about shops from past games has been expanded upon, and it can all be found in one area. While the fortune teller is useless, everything else is from serviceable to game-changing. The only drawback is that little of it is available from the start, but that's to be expected. And with that, after 5 whole episodes, we are finally able to go to the surface. There's some stuff we could explore in the sky, but we'll do that later. It is crazy to think that it took a whole summer just to get to this point, but I fully intend to see this project to the very end, no matter how long it takes. But what do you think? What's your favorite shop in a Zelda game? Let me know in the comments below, and if you want to see more of this review series, hit that subscribe button.